Alright, so for this last video about CSS, for this module, is really about controlling this image, right? So the image right now, it's pretty good size, but if you have a large image that we need to scale down a little bit, the specs on the assignment do require you to have it at a certain size. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you could control this particular image. So if we flip into brackets, we have our style, we have our about.html, and we want to affect this image. Now, the way we've done this, we've done all the other styles by using an element selector. So we could select the image, right, because it is an image tag, and this would select it. Now, the downside of this is that's going to select every single image. So as we build out other pages, that's going to affect every single page, and that's not what we need it to do. We want it to just affect this particular image, right? So in this case, this is where classes come into play. So we talked about that earlier in videos, that there are different types of selectors, okay? So we're going to make a class, and remember a class starts with a period, called pick, and we're going to have it styled as the width, right? So we're going to pick the width, and I'm going to choose just 1,000 pixels, or actually 100 pixels, so you can see that, yes, this is doing something, right? Now, right now, our HTML doesn't know anything about this particular class, right? So this is where we need to actually add another attribute to what we want to have styled, right? So we have our image, we have a source, we have an alt attribute. We're going to add another called class equals quotes, and we're going to name the class pick, right? So inside the image, now we've told this image to apply the style using class pick, right? So, and all we're telling it to do is to size it, okay? So if we do that and we hit save on all these things and flip over to our preview, we see that now we're controlling that image, all right? And that's cool. That's what we need to be able to do. So in this case, we need to actually just change it to 300, and that should be good. And that's the size that we want it and need it for this particular project. But this is like kind of a, dipping our toe into this is what we can do with a class, right? And this allows us to do kind of exceptions to the rules, right? If paragraphs and H2s and H1s affect all the tags that they find in the HTML, the class is going to kind of look for something specific, right? We just want to affect this particular image, so we're going to add a class here. So this is a short video, but I wanted to talk a little bit about how you control the image size using a class in your CSS, and you add a class attribute in your HTML to connect them. So you can do a lot with that kind of moving forward, but we'll talk a little bit about that in Web 2.